Hello, welcome back to Coinscrum Markets. I'm delighted today to be joined by Toby Lewis, CEO at Novum Insights. Hi, Toby, welcome back.
Hi, Paul. Great to be here.
Great. Well, look, another busy week in the markets, as is always the case, I guess, with crypto. Few interesting things to look at from the last week. Obviously, last week we saw the direct listing of Coinbase, which was highly anticipated. Went very well by the looks of it, but also seems to have marked a top or a temporary top maybe in the market. Bitcoin has sold off, the rest of the market's come off with it, although Ethereum seems to have outperformed in some way. We're also going to have a look at the DeFi market, which is an area that you guys at Novum Insights focus on heavily. I don't know, what's your thoughts on this initial sell-off? There was like different rumors about what the cause was. Was it just a kind of natural time for a top, by the news scenario with Coinbase? There were rumors going around about, there's some somewhat unsubstantiated rumors about the US Treasury looking to clamp down on some AML malfeasance at US exchanges, but I think they were kind of widely dismissed quite quickly. We did see a large drop off in the Bitcoin hash rate. I mean, two potential reasons there. One thing, the Bitcoin cash price was ticking up quite strongly, so there was some move in hash rate from Bitcoin to Bitcoin Cash. We also saw a really big drop that was allegedly to do with some power outages in China, but again, unsubstantiated. Who knows? What's your thoughts on the market?
Yeah, again, we're at that phase, right, where jitters are going to come in, and I think you're right that there was a lot of hype around Coinbase. I mean, it's bigger than ICE now, right? So sort of bigger. The biggest crypto exchange is bigger than the biggest real stock exchange in the world, which is very strange times. And so with that, I think you're just going to get big movements in price because it's sort of the tail is wagging the dog in some ways, right? Crypto, the niche industry, and it's become so big that it's sort of beginning to sort of look like the entire market. And it's a really interesting thing because looked at one way, I think what we're all working on, what we're all building could well be the future of finance, right? But I think there's going to be some the 20%, 30% moves that we're all used to seeing. I think we're gonna experience them a lot more.
Yeah. Volatility has still been relatively low, obviously, in the run up to that high and in recent weeks. So I guess not entirely unexpected. The question is whether this is a short-term pause in a longer-term bull market or whether it's something a little bit longer term. But who knows? The market will decide for us over time, I'm sure. So as I mentioned, at Novum Insights, you pull in a whole bunch of different data points, and you do have a very strong focus on the DeFi markets, which has been a strong driver of the bull run of the last 6 months. Tell us a little bit more what you've been seeing there specifically over the last week or so.
Yeah, no. So DeFi's obviously been super exciting, right? And the thing to bear in mind with DeFi is around this time last year, the total value locked in DeFi was under $1 billion. It's now 50. So with the run up in the crypto markets, which have obviously scaled really, really quickly, one of the fastest growing areas is DeFi itself. And that I think has been driven by decentralized exchanges being able to tap Ethereum to make all sorts of trades happen that weren't happening before. And with that, I think it's like a microcosm of the crypto markets. I was showing you and your colleague yesterday some of the data that we had on what are the trending coins, and unfortunately, a lot of them seem to be linked to the dog trend. crypto always has a bit of a silly season, and in DeFi, it gets even more silly. Basically, although lots of great, interesting technical things are also being built.
Yeah, I guess so. Elon Musk's favorite coin, Dogecoin, has kind of has ramped up massively last week. And has got a few variants which have kind of emerged around the same theme. I know it's they probably kind of clouded some of the data on your leaderboard, but there's a lot of other interesting insights there. Have you got anything you want to show us?
Yeah, so here's the leaderboard, and some of the more active coins, so the likes of SHIB and Dagira. So if we go in to the actual top performers over the last 7 days, and you will see that unfortunately it's now becoming. So if you backed SHIB, which is the Shiba Inu token, over the last 90 days, you would have made 943,000% as a return. So if you happen to have been tapped up by one of your mates, you could have made your fortune off the Shiba Inu token. But with this, and obviously this is there's been up over 30 days, 2.4 thousand. So what we're trying to do with our momentum pairs is go, well, look, you can predict actually a basket of the 30-day winners, prove obviously some of them continue to go down in value, but it can prove to be quite a profitable trade to back these things. But at the moment, we're very much in silly season. So after SHIB, there's Dagira, then there's Safe Earth, which is a derivative of the Safe Moon stable. It may even be just then Poodle, then Method, which obviously has a more real name and has been we analyze a lot of these projects. Visor's been doing something very, very interesting, which is allowing users to stake and get harness some of the gains from Uniswap version 3. So Uniswap version 3 has been removing some of the issues linked to the gas price on Ethereum, and also allowing people to provide liquidity, which is one of the new kind of tools of the DeFi market, and they're allowing people to do this in a very interesting way. So amid silly season, which is continuing in quite a big way with Poodle, Dachshund, Ren Doge, W Doge, Doge. So that the data over the last 7 days has clearly been crowded out a bit by just this monster trend linked to
meme coins
and Doge. But if you look more widely, Space Chain again, Keeper, Armor, Ampleforth. So this is looking at it over a 90-day. You're beginning to get relatively. So this is actually so over a 90-day, you're still getting big performers like Feg, Vanilla. Anyway, the good thing is the market is. We built a tool that can allow you to look at everything on Uniswap, and one of the things, and we're effectively looking to also single out projects that our analysts like, and we can't bring ourselves to recommend people to buy into the dog trend, because although if we'd literally followed the data, I think it would have been a good trade to have got in early in SHIB and a whole bunch of these other things. But I think it's inevitable that at some point the dogs will slow down in their run. But I think people have done pretty well out of riding that train. But our analysts are helping people pick some of the more sensible things as well. And this is looking at how they performed over the last week. So Ampleforth has been a good returner in a down market, right? Maker has been a good returner. DuckDAO's been a good returner. Interestingly, of the stuff we actually like, a lot of it, because the market's been hammered in the last week, Veracity, Cyberfi, Mir, what they've done is not lost a lot of money for people. And even of the stuff that we do like, Matic, they've been down 10% in the week, and DuckDAO has also taken a hit. I'm not sure why the two different pairs are slightly different, but of the ducks, but we can dig into that. But
well, I guess, I mean, that's the nature of the beast, isn't it? With no gatekeepers to listing new tokens, anyone can create new tokens, anyone can go and list new tokens. Going forward, being able to have tools like this to at least start filtering out the good from the bad. But undoubtedly there are substantive projects which have been around for a while now, and are definitely worth keeping an eye on in the space. You mentioned Uniswap version 3.0, directly addressing some of the scaling issues which are kind of prevalent across most of the networks. Ethereum looking to address that in the longer term at the base layer in its own way. But we've also seen a lot of movement going towards the Binance Smart Chain as well. A lot of projects adopting that network because of the reduced fees. What's your take on that? What are you seeing over there specifically? Is that a long-term solution, or are there kind of sort of potential risks under the hood, or is it not really a long-term decentralized solution? Some people question how decentralized it is, or how decentralized it's going to be going forward.
Yeah, well, I think all of those points are right at the same time, right? So the founder of Binance, CZ, describes it as CFI DeFi, right, or something, or CDeFi, or whatever he calls it.
So we need another acronym.
Decentralized finance, and I think a lot of people in the sort of decentralized crypto market are slightly skeptical that Binance is playing DeFi properly, but they are, with that centralization, they're solving one of the big problems of DeFi, right? Because the Ethereum version 1 really at the moment is something that lends itself to people with pretty big portfolios. So the whole you can to just transfer something on the Ethereum network at the moment, you're paying $20 in gas fees. To interact with a smart contract, you're often paying upwards of $200, right? So that pretty much means that the smallest trade that we'd recommend people to make if you're just interacting with Ethereum version 1 is like a $3,000 token purchase. And then to interact with a smart contract and begin providing a liquidity pool, you're looking at putting upwards of 10 grand to work, right? To make the numbers make sense. And that's obviously excluding a lot of people. Crypto is a retail driven industry, right? So I think Binance is actually, with PancakeSwap and with their smart chain, have been the first group to properly solve that issue at scale for people. I mean, you've got the likes of Avalanche and others that are building working products, Solana, another one, on that allow DeFi to take place. But really, the big game in town that isn't on Ethereum is Binance. And PancakeSwap. We as ever, like on PancakeSwap, it's also been very fad driven, and the big story there has been this SafeMoon token, which I think had $6 billion in volume yesterday and managed to crash Binance itself because it's listed on the DEX but isn't listed on main Binance, right? So Again, it's the crypto markets. There's a huge pace of innovation. There's a lot of people experimenting, and there's a lot of people looking out for the next big thing, and that's where we think we play a role, is just going, look, well, we can tell you what the data is saying. At the moment, I think we're definitely in peak silly season, the dog trend being one of them, the safe moon thing being another. But this is proving in the short term quite profitable for people in a similar way to Wall Street bets and GameStop and a lot of these things. And the group that's actually been driving a lot of the euphoria around Doge and a lot of the euphoria around SafeMoon has actually been the Satoshi Street Bets Reddit channel, right? Which is the crypto variant of the Wall Street bets.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's another thing for the industry to address. And look, the industry, the projects that have established themselves, that have been around for some time and continue to innovate, such as Uniswap, it's been known for a long time that scalability is an issue. And we potentially have indications that even on Ethereum, there are kind of layer 2 solutions, which there's always going to be some level of trade-off in terms of, what you're doing on the base chain and what you're doing on layer 2 in terms of decentralization, security. But these more substantive, legitimate projects are proving that innovation can continue to happen. Maybe in future we do have to look, or the industry needs to look at, about how users, maybe kind of newcomers or kind of less clued up users, can protect themselves from the potential scams that are out there when you don't have a centralized exchange as a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
But I think with the signs are there that the industry knows what the problems are, and it's building to solve problems, or solve these known problems as well. So, lots of positives to take out of that. People do still need to be careful in that market. So, if you are new to it, make sure that you do ask as many questions as possible and reach out to as many people as possible before committing your money to some of these things. Toby, we're out of time now. Thank you very much for coming in and sharing your insights. If people want to take a closer look at what some of the data they're able to get from you guys, where should they go?
Yeah, so we have a DeFi calculator, completely free tool on our site, and you can look at how the various different pairs perform. Then we run a subscription service as well. Very easy. You can try it out for £1, sign in on our website. That gives you access. It's a £300 annual subscription, so designed to be very sort of at the minimum threshold for people to be educated in the space. And then they can get access to our trading group. They can get access to, so we've run a WhatsApp group that's very popular. People love to share ideas there. And then we do a weekly kind of trading discussion for our members and discuss what's going on in the market.
Great. Okay. Well, hopefully people go and have a look. Toby, we will see you again in a few weeks to get some more insights on the DeFi market. Thanks for joining us.
Amazing. Cheers, Paul.
Bye.